Hi everybody, we're back again here with our Back to Basics Disney Planning 101. I still haven't quite figured out what to call it. I think the title says Planning 1. Okay, not important. My name is Brian. I am an employee of touringplans.com. You, of course, are on the touringplans.com YouTube page, which is where I live. I am trapped inside this computer. Please help. Anyway, in the meantime, today's episode is all about tickets. Now, this one is pretty specific to Walt Disney World. Before I get into it, let me remind you, this is the fourth in this series. The videos that have come before this are deciding when to go to Walt Disney World, deciding how long to stay in Walt Disney World, and choosing a Disney World hotel. Links to those three videos can be found below this. And there will be 2 more videos coming out. This was only going to be a 5-part series. I have added a 6th. The next one coming out will be Fast Pass Plus. The one after that will be all about dining, making dining reservations, and the Disney dining plan at the request of many viewers. Those videos will both be out next week. You may also notice that the wall behind me is quite green at the moment. I have decided to break out the old green screen. I haven't actually used it in a while, but this one is going to be a little bit drier, and after watching the hotels one, which felt more like a lecture than an entertainment video, to my eyes at least, I figured I might as well put some pretty pictures behind me. Like, look at that one. That's nice. At least gives you something to look at while you're listening to my TED Talk on Disney World tickets. The first thing you need to know here is that you do not need to buy tickets as part of a package. Disney considers a package as a room and the tickets combined. You can add on things like the Disney dining plan, which of course we will talk about fully in that video, but there is no price advantage to buying a package. In fact, as I mentioned in the hotels video last time, you can almost always get a discount on a hotel room, but you need to make what's called a room-only reservation, meaning not part of a package. But you must have your tickets purchased before you can make Fast Pass Plus reservations. Of course, the next video is all about Fast Pass Plus, so if you aren't sure how that works or what that is, stay tuned for that one. You must have your tickets linked to your account on the Disney website before you make FastPass reservations. I will talk more about that. I have a FastPass Plus video already about kind of how to do it, and I will talk more about that in the next video. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that this step has to come before that one. So now, I specifically mentioned before about buying tickets through the Disney World site. For the most part, that's what I'm going to be talking about. But one very important thing you need to know is that subscribers to the wonderful touringplans.com and the very reasonably priced touringplans.com get many features. One of the features that we do offer is a ticket calculator. That link is below this, but it is also popping up right here on top of my head. In fact, this is what the ticket calculator looks like on the site. If you scroll down here, you input in this box all of your information, and then it will pop up results for the cheapest available tickets. Tickets are hard to get good discounts on, but you can save a little bit of money buying from a third-party site. So if you're going for a longer period of time or have a large family, it can make a pretty decent difference. Now, these third-party sites are not directly affiliated with touringplans.com. We do take all feedback into account, and all of the sites that we list on there are ones that people have not generally had problems with. But they are not Disney and they are not touringplans.com. So now, Disney World tickets. Ticket prices are a little bit different for adults and children. All of the prices I'm going to give you today are for the adult ticket. The children are a little bit cheaper, but not enough cheaper to really focus on that. Now, what Disney considers a child is anyone aged 3 through 9. Once you are 10 years old, you are an adult in their eyes, and you will pay the adult price for tickets. If a child is 0, 1, or 2, they are free. So if you have a child that is about to turn 3, might be a good time to take a trip. They are much cheaper when they are under 3. And their age is determined by the first day of your trip. So if you start your trip the day before their 3rd birthday, they are 2 for that entire trip. Yes, I have done that twice. First up is what I'm going to call the base ticket pricing. And this is a ticket where you can only visit one park per day. The choices you have to make with tickets are the type of ticket, in this case I'm talking about the base, and the number of days for the ticket. If your trip is 5 days long and you plan on going to the park all 5 days, you will need a 5-day ticket. Tickets, at least for Americans, it does vary a little bit for UK visitors, but for Americans going to Disney World, the tickets range from 1-day tickets to 10-day tickets. Obviously, the price changes as you go. The base ticket, the 1 park per day ticket, means no matter how long the ticket is, you can only go to 1 park per day, which means if on day 3 of your 5-day ticket, you go to the Magic Kingdom first thing in the morning, you cannot go to another park that day. You can leave the Magic Kingdom and go back to it later in the day, but you cannot leave the Magic Kingdom and go to Epcot. Wouldn't be allowed. Question we do get frequently is, if I'm going for 5 days and I buy a 6-day ticket, can I use 1 day for the Magic Kingdom and 1 day for Epcot, but use them on the same day? The answer is no. Disney does not allow that. Once you use your 1 park per day ticket to get into a park, you cannot go to another park. You have to wait until the next operational day. Even if the parks are open past midnight, you cannot hop to that park. And the prices for this base ticket range from $116 for a 1-day ticket all the way up to $539 for a 10-day ticket. So if you're doing the math there, per day cost on a 10-day ticket is a little bit less than half of that 1-day ticket. You're looking at $53.50 for that per day for that 10-day ticket versus that $116. That is not an accident. Disney does that on purpose. Now, if you do want to visit more than one park on any given day, that is when you need to upgrade to the Park Hopper option. Now, a ticket with a Park Hopper option will cost you a little bit more, but again, the per day rate goes down in this case very drastically because this is a flat fee. For the lower tickets, for the 1-2-day tickets, you will have to pay $59 per ticket to add on the Park Hopper option. But then after a few days, that goes to $80 and stays there. So if you have a 5-day ticket, it will cost you $80 per ticket to add on the Park Hopper option. If you have a 10-day ticket, it will cost you $80 to add on the Park Hopper option. And the Park Hopper allows you to do exactly that, to hop parks. On this, on day 5, you go to the Magic Kingdom first thing in the morning and then go back to your hotel for a rest. Now, with a Park Hopper option, you could go back to the Magic Kingdom, you could go to Epcot. You could go to Epcot for dinner, and then after dinner, you see Pandora at night with the bioluminescence on. You could go to all 4 parks in one single day with the Park Hopper option. There is no limit to how many parks you can visit on those days. If that is something that appeals to you, I would definitely recommend it. It is something that I almost always do with my family, is add the Park Hopper option. Almost always we go back for a rest in the middle of the day, and it is nice to have the option to go to any park we want in the afternoon. The third option for tickets is Park Hopper Plus. The name can be a little bit confusing on this one because the plus is the only difference. If you are familiar with the older style of tickets, this used to be called the Water Park Fun and More ticket, which was definitely more descriptive. What this does is it adds on visits to some of the other things at Disney World, including the 2 water parks, Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. You can also play rounds of mini golf with this. This option is actually really reasonably priced at $26 to add on, regardless of the number of days. So if you think you will be going to the water park even once, it is worth getting the Park Hopper Plus option. Now, explaining the Park Hopper Plus gets a little trickier because the number of times that you can visit the water park or play mini golf depends on the length of your ticket. So using that example of a 5-day ticket, if you buy a 5-day ticket with the Park Hopper Plus option on it, you can visit the water parks up to 5 times. Or you can do a combination of that and go to Typhoon Lagoon twice and Blizzard Beach twice and play miniature golf 1 time. As long as that number adds up to 5, you are allowed to do it. And it is not once per day, it is 5 total times on a 5-day ticket. So you could do it all in 1 day if you wanted to. I don't know why, but you could. And that changes. A 3-day ticket, you're allowed 3 visits. 7 days, 7 visits. You get it now, right? And it does not have to be a day that you are using the ticket. A 5-day ticket does not expire in 5 days. You could go to the parks for 3 days, and then spend 1 day going to both water parks, then go back to the park for 2 more days. Now, speaking of that expiration option, that has changed. The old rule used to be 14 days after first use of the ticket, regardless of length. Now the expiration date changes with the length of the ticket. This is the table for expiration here, but as you can see, they always expire on 2 to 5 days longer than the length of the ticket. So that 5-day ticket expires in 7 days, a 10-day ticket expires in 14, but if you get the Park Hopper Plus option, you will notice that it is 1 day farther. So a 10-day ticket with a Park Hopper Plus option, the water park one, will actually expire in 15 days. So if you were taking a 2-week trip, getting that Park Hopper Plus option might be a good strategy, because you could spend those other days going to those water parks. I mean, you have 10 visits for $26. That's really good price. That's one of the few deals you can really get at Disney World now. All right, so let's talk about date-based pricing. What that means is that now you have to choose the date that you are going to Disney World when you buy the tickets. There is a flexible date option, but it is a higher price. You will pay a surcharge based on that. So if you know when you're going, it is easier just to pick the date. It will be cheaper for you. What that means for you is that if your trip dates are a little bit more flexible, you can actually save a little bit of money versus other dates. It is just another factor to look into when deciding when to go, as I mentioned in my video. So what happens once you pick your dates if your trip changes? Not a big deal. You can move the dates. One thing you need to know, though, is Disney will not give you a refund if the new dates you pick are cheaper than the old ones. You will, of course, have to pay the higher price if you move into a higher priced zone. But it doesn't work the other way around. If you are deciding between 2 dates and think there is a chance you might change them, go for the lower priced one. Because the worst case scenario there, you will move it to the higher priced one, pay the difference, would have been the same price anyway. If you choose the higher priced one and move down to the lower priced one, you are just out that difference in money. You will still be paying the higher priced one either way. So go with the lower one, and if you have to move to the higher priced one. Okay, next is annual passes. If you think you will be going to Disney World more than once within any given year, an annual pass is probably a smart move. Now, the basic annual pass, called the Platinum Pass, is $952. Does come with the Park Hopper option. That is the only option. You cannot get a 1 park per day annual pass. And there are also additional discounts. There are some light dining discounts and even the occasional merchandise discount that you will get with the annual pass. In addition, parking at the theme parks is free. Parking at the hotels, though, is not as of yet for annual pass holders. But even if you are going for 2 5-day trips within a year, it is probably financially sensible to get that annual pass rather than pay for those 2 separate tickets. And if you go around once a year, a lot of times you can play the system a little bit, where say you go in May one year and then maybe go in April the next year, so that it covers that 365-day period. You can use that annual pass twice within that 1 year. Other options for annual pass is the Platinum Plus, is $1,059. That is the one that includes the water parks, and that is basically an unlimited amount of water park visits for a little over $100. Now, wrapping up here, there are also some special event tickets that are not included in regular ticket price. The most prominent of these include things like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the after hours events that Disney is doing at Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. Those are all separately ticketed events, otherwise called hard ticket events. That means that you need a separate ticket to get into those. It is not included in any ticket, any annual pass, anything like that. It has to be purchased separately. The prices of those can range anywhere from $70 or so up to $120, depending on the event and the time of year. But there are things that are included. Many of the festivals at Epcot, Food and Wine Festival, Festival of the Arts, Flower and Garden, all included with your regular admission. So if you are going during events, and check out that touringplans.com events page that I have linked below, of course, If you are going during any of those events, make sure you look for the words separately ticketed or hard ticket. We will always mention if it is not included. If we do not mention it, that means it is included in the price of your regular admission. And one last thing to mention, I know ticketing can be confusing. I have already made a video where I go through the Disney World site and show you how to do it. It was filmed not long after they changed to the date-based pricing, and it is this one right here that is popping up over my shoulder. But thank you for watching anyway, and be excellent to each other.